evening, race fans. Welcome to Rivalz Race Check. Clinton, when you said you'd let me lead, I thought you were talking about guests, not the show. I meant to be a sidekick. I'm not meant to be Batman.
Well, you're gonna
I
have to
am the
lead today,
Rob.
buddy. You know,
I
if I
understand.
ever if I ever needed a mind well session, it was today, buddy. You've been there for me all day, and I think that this whole situation is starting to get to us a little bit, and I think day whatever we're on was my snapping point today. And I think maybe we need to start off by just talking a little bit about that. First off, welcome everybody. We've got an hour worth of race chat here for you, and I want to apologize to everybody in my life because I've been tough to deal with the last 24 hours. You included, Adam. As you know, we've gone through a lot of stuff, but as a brother to me, I appreciate and I think everybody needs someone like that they can reach out to, especially in a time like this, for some non-judgment. And I think the best way, my best advice is the advice we use each other. If you're having a bad day, lead with that. Hey, I'm having a rotten day. Let's talk. And I think you take everything else with a grain of salt. So I appreciate that, and hopefully everybody else is hanging in through this.
Yeah, it sets the tone of the conversations well, right? It's a lot like text conversations. You know how you can't really
Yeah.
get tone from a text? The tone is however you read it. So it's your mood as you're reading it. When you talk to someone, it's a lot different. So with you and I, we've gotten pretty good after a number of fights by saying, look, today's a shit day. Let's remember that as we go through this conversation, and it helps an awful lot. But we've had a lot of stuff to talk about, Clinton. There's so much going on, and all winter long, the irony of ironies, we tried to balance our audience. We try to make our audience happy, so we talk about all the racing we can talk about, and we add in a lot of what we're doing with iRacing because we've believed in it. It's a good outlet for people to come and be competitive and have some fun. Well, lo and behold, in the last month, everyone is shifting to virtual racing because we have the only activity in the world outside of flying airplanes, in my opinion. There's nothing in the world with such a close simulation to the real thing as motorsports. So everyone's jumped into the iRacing game. So that's uh, taking over the majority of our conversations. And it's a great source of frustration, Clinton, for you and I, because we've been doing this for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Everyone else is new to the party, and holy moly, everyone's a broadcaster all of a sudden, and everyone's an expert in iRacing. And it's good. There's lots of people getting on board, and we've got a lot of racers getting on board because they realize if they want to have fun and get their competitive juices flowing, they're going to have to do it behind a computer screen.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you that, what your thoughts were. I have a lot of interesting thoughts where I am. Like you said, it's frustrating on one hand. It's cool that everybody else is kind of accepting what we've been pushing for a while now, and validating what we've been doing for a while. I think is a good way to put it. You're right. We're fortunate also that we're the one sport that does lend itself to a simulation as close as it can possibly be, where a lot of the elements are still the same. And we've seen this week, especially, it crossover between the reality of iRacing and the reality of real life business and racing and we'll talk about that in the Bubba situation coming up in a bit. But I'm a bit in the same boat, Adam. I think I was trying to put my head around the other day and think, well, we've talked about iRacing as sort of the new go-karting, which got a lot of kids and people involved in racing as a stepping stone. So if this explosion helps that in any way, I think it's great for the sport. I think we've seen a lot of people come out of the woodwork who we wouldn't normally expect to get on iRacing because they don't really have any other option to get involved and to keep their skills sharp right now. And it's been really cool to see on that hand for sure. And with that being said, we're going to continue to promote and we continue to talk. And I think that's been the source of our fights lately, has been mostly about what we're going to do with our next iRacing promotion. That's why I like Ush Weekend, because I just get to make the rules and you have to go along with it.
And that's the reason I don't like what we're doing, is because it's, Adam, you figure out what we're doing and let me know. And, we have to talk to a lot of people, a lot of experts to get their opinions as well. So there's lots going on. And interestingly, I just got a Facebook message from our friend Martin Davio from our Blacktop Rivals. We've got a practice race going on tonight, and I believe that's where this screenshot is from, and it shows Elliott Sadler is one spot ahead of our regular Mannix Riche in time. So I'm not sure if that was from our practice race at Auto Club Speedway tonight or if they're at a different event. But and Connor's, I don't remember racing anyone. Well, I was in a race with Rico Abreu a couple of weeks ago, but we see it all the time. Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr. You'll wind up in a race with these guys. What other sports can you say? What if we told our kids you can play NHL on PS4 and play against Sidney Crosby? Well, holy crap, that'd be pretty cool.
But I think racing is a whole new element because, sure, you're using your joysticks to play against Sidney Crosby on PS4, but using a lot of the same elements you would to actually compete against that driver. There's two sports that are managing to go on. The only ones I can think of, and not to take it off cue, but one thing you love, which is wrestling, and one thing I love, which is MMA. So those are really the only two sports because only two people together in a ring at once, they can get away with it. And I think outside that, racing is the next best thing to the sports that are going live. So, but unprecedented times, man. I can't get over. You read so much crap in the media. I don't know what to believe anymore. We could have a whole show about politics and probably both be on other sides of the fence there, but we'll save that. But the message is hopefully our racing friends are taking care of each other. And, we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show too. Racers taking care of their community, and we appreciate the great stories too. So, of course, this is an open show for you. Anything you guys want to talk about, anything you want to discuss, let us know. We'll be happy to go over.
I was just going to say that. Throw in your comments and questions. Cliff Peterson just asked about updates from the racetrack, looking for video of any improvements that are going on. No, the only update I got from the racetrack today, Clinton, pissed me off a little bit. A picture that you sent. I don't know if we talk about that or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
there was some vandalism out at the track. It happens once in a while, but we got video cameras from my brother Mikey at MK Installations, hooked us up with some good security stuff, and we are on the case, so to speak, and we're also beefing up some of the security up there too. But was Cliff's question just about Ashweekend? How about some video from the track showing any updates? Well, we're working on getting that going. I'm hoping to have some of that together for our Friday night broadcast, which we're excited to talk about as we go live at Ashweekend this Friday. So we're saving some clips for that. I can tell you the profile has changed from the Speedway. If you've not seen it from the road lately, if you're not in town, it has changed dramatically. So I was out there today, and it's crazy to see how much the guys have gotten done in the last month before the shutdown.
And we should tell our friends, if you're thinking about going for a drive and you want to check out the Speedway, please don't. If you don't mind,
yes.
the reservation is closed. It's barricaded, and the council decided for the safety of its people, they're going to limit entry and exit on the res so they know who's coming and going. And so respect their boundaries. Respect.
Saying it's barricaded and they're checking who's coming, that's not really, it's saying a bit far. They do have a couple checkpoints there. They're making sure you're essential to their community. And, super kind, super cool. And, I mean, they have an aging community, too, with not a lot of healthcare out there. So they really got to protect the community for sure. And, I mean, some of us wish our communities would take the same steps theirs has. But I guess we can talk about that for a bit.
I don't say it with any malice or any disrespect at all. The council exists. Councils exist on the Indian reservations, the native reservations, to make decisions for the betterment of all of the people that live there. So they want to take care of their citizens. That's what they've done. I just wanted to give a warning. If someone was going to drive an hour just to check things out, they would rather you did not. They would rather just distance yourself, try to stay as healthy as you can, and when things are better and everything opens up again, we can all go and play together.
I think the biggest statement I can make on the state of affairs at the track now is, one, we're not scheduled to start still for another 6 weeks pretty much from now. So we have a lot of time. I don't think we're actually going to be open on time. I mean, just the indications by all the other major leagues and all that stuff. But, we're trying not to look too far down the road yet. Obviously, we're racers. We want to get to the track as soon as we can. Glenn's a racer. He's coming back this year with a vengeance, with a new crew chief and a whole bunch of new equipment. He wants to go racing probably this year more than ever. And I think if Glenn was on the injured reserve, maybe we'd be a little bit hesitant, oh man, does he really want to get this going? But Glenn's as eager as anybody to get out on that track and race today. I talked to Jordan a bit about track prep. It's still just kind of letting it sit for a while, but we still have 6 weeks. They wouldn't be working on the track surface yet anyways. Work continues to go on up there, as I said, as much as they can work. They've been shut down by the community this last week, but up until then, things have been flying along. And the short answer is, as soon as we're allowed to go back racing, we will be back racing, and we'll be ready and raring to go. We don't have a date yet because it's set by the communities, by the government, and by what's right by the the health departments around. So we're beholden to that. But all I can tell Irish Weekend fans is we'll be ready to go as soon as we get the green flag from the higher ups.
I just got a text from Ryan Dyson from the APC series saying he's having trouble connecting with us. This was last minute. And now, did you want to close that off, Clinton, and then I'll explain why we were bringing Ryan on board.
No, that was basically it. Just the short answer is we're full steam ahead as soon as we can be. And for anybody who's asking, are we canceling the season? Are we postponing the season? From the management chair, which is mine, I say no, absolutely not. If something comes down from the
updates, we'll try to keep you posted on a weekly basis and go from there.
While you set up the next segment, there's been a couple of questions been asking along those lines too. I got asked today by Wesley. He asked me, would we race later than normal? And it brings up a great discussion because we try to really work hard with our partners. So what happens there is we mesh with all these other tracks. For example, Apple Fest comes a week after our weekend closes. They shut down their racetrack for that weekend to accommodate us. So once you start going into post-race, then you start stepping on a lot of the other, what I've been calling heritage dates that have been in place for a long time on particular weekends. And you try and work best with your other tracks. So I think that becomes the tough part. So a case-by-case basis, as we talked about, what happens with a lot of our deals and sponsorships and that, we risk 6 rainouts a year anyway. So until we're down 6 nights, I think we're still giving great value for what we're providing and including memberships and that. But for now, let's just see where we get day by day and keep rolling.
I want to talk about John Pinsonneau's comment because it's a good one. He says, Angie, keep your clothes on, please. This quarantine, this social distancing is making people a little bit crazy in my house. So if you see me keep looking away, I've got kids roaming around and a wife roaming around and lots of things happening in the background. Our practice race for Friday just ended. Connor came out to tell me that, so I'm a little bit distracted by that. Spencer in the background is working with Ryan Dyson to try to get him connected to the show. So Clinton, it's chaos over here, and I know how much you love distractions and things of that nature.
It's all right. I'll answer John's question because it is a good one. John Pinsonneau asks,
yes.
Are you worried about attendance when you open? Well, yes, of course we are. I think I'm worried about, and I mean, I hate to talk about this. I really do, because I want to stay as positive as we can and pretend this is all going to go away in 3 weeks and we can get back to business. But the best case scenario for us is the World Health Organization and the doctors and the scientists come out and say, all right, it's all clear. We don't have to worry about this. We can go back to the way we were. But is that going to happen? We don't really know. I think as an Oshweekend race team, I would take a bit of solace in the fact that we're prepared to put on the show, whether it be online or whatever, television. There's lots of things there. Another thing I want to mention is, if we still have to be a little bit further apart, Oshweekend's a great place to have that problem, because even when we pack 2,000 people in the grandstands on a Friday night, we are still 3/5 full because we seat 5,000 people. So we have a lot of room for people to spread out. I mean, we're probably the best case scenario to give people room to do their thing. I think, if you took all the fans out like they've done in wrestling, and you just say you went to TV only, you still have all these issues of all these crews that are going to be mingling together. We can't have a race with 2 cars. We need a bunch of them. We need a bunch of crew to service them. We need the safety crew there. So, yeah, we are going to need some of this to lift. But I think, are we worried? Hell yes. Are we scared shitless? No, because I think we've got a great thing. I think racers are addicts. We've all brought up on this. We're not just going to change our lifestyles tomorrow. We're not just going to find new ways to invest your $30,000 in a new hobby overnight. It's going to take a while to break away from your addiction. I think the fans are still going to be there. People are going to need to get outside. They're going to want to mingle. We're going to want to get back to life as soon as possible. And I think racing's a great way to do that. Let's look at it. It's also a fairly clean, family, wholesome oriented sport where you can be with your kids, you can stick with your clan, still get out, have a great time. So I think, those things are good. Are we going to have to make some changes to the way we do business? Apparently, if you look around you in the retail world, we're all going to be making changes going forward, one way or another.
Let's talk about that. I've got a theory, but first I want to talk about the changes required. Folks, we want to grow our community here. We want to build our audience. So the way we do that in the changing world is by sharing this product. So if you're watching us on Facebook, please share it. If you're watching it on YouTube, click the share link. It'll give you a code, a URL. Copy that, throw it up in Facebook. The more we can share the product, the more eyeballs we get on our product here, on our show, on our Ashweekend Racing, the better off we're all going to be. I believe when this ends, and it'll be a fresh beginning, but I think people are going to be so excited to get out and to get back to the normal that they enjoyed. I think live events are going to be a huge thing. Sure, I think there'll be some precautions. People are going to have to change the way they interact, the way they act. But by and large, I think people are going to be so excited when we get through this that you're going to see a huge demand. I think you're going to see a big spike in attendance because people don't want to see things virtually at that point. For now, we do it because we have to. But at that point, I think people are going to want to congregate and get out and just celebrate life and be happy together. We'll get there.
Mike Morris said, people get out sooner because they're indoor. People said there'd be more masks, but I have my bandana here. So, this look at a racetrack is not really out of fashion. It's always been in fashion at the races. So if any sport's going to get away with the masks and be in there, it's going to be the dirt track guys because our old timers been wearing them for years out there. I think, you're right. Outdoor sports should be able to get out there a bit sooner. And it's unprecedented, man. I don't know what to say. I wake up in shock every day wondering I think our friends at Epic Race, where Bob Bailey put it best today, he goes, I think it feels like the Truman Show. Like we're living in a real life simulation. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's some other good comments coming in. Please throw the comments out there. We'd love to hear what you guys want to talk about. I'll just want to answer Hunter Hurtendy says, thoughts on Brockville picking up the crates and blowing it up. I think they're going to be real successful down there. I think, those teams that are jumping into this deal are going to be pleasantly surprised with the way these crates have run. There's no secret that they've been a huge success up here. You hear nothing but praises from our guys who are actually driving them. Touching wood, the motors, I don't want to say are bulletproof, but they're not burning up nearly as much as any of the other classes we're typically seeing outside the crates. And, it's been a resilient package for good money. I mean, when you can buy a race-winning car for $17,000, race ready, throw your seat in and go, that's a winning package. And I think the Brockville guys, it's the same thing we told the Quebec guys, the same thing we had to have the talk with Glenn when it was Doug, Nathan Christensen was there, myself and Doug, and I think Greg might have been there at a dinner. And we just said, we just got to go for it. If you want to do it, let's just jump out. And if we get 6 cars, we get 6 cars. Well, we announced in October. The following year, opening night, we had 11 cars. And now we're closing in on 50 on a regular night. So I think Brockville and Quebec are going to blow up. We have a lot of big events planned across that summer and where they can mix and mingle, and it's going to be really good.
Let's move on with our order of events. Up next, Bubba Gets Dropped. Now,
yeah.
Bubba Wallace has gotten himself into a bit of hot water a couple of times over the last few years. He's kind of a media darling. People want him to do well because he's driving Richard Petty's car. But sometimes things just don't go your way, Clinton. And last weekend, they did not go his way.
We went to Daytona with Christine. She says, I think I root for Bubba. I don't know where. Just come out of nowhere. But, so let's talk about that. He gets in this iRacing deal. So NASCAR, if you've had your head in the sand or living under a rock for the last couple of weeks, you might not have noticed that NASCAR has embraced the iRacing platform, and they've taken a lot of their Cup stars and put them live on Fox on Sunday. I think the broadcasts have been really good. I think for us guys who do our own broadcasts, we're happy because we're almost right alongside what they're doing, which shows we've been on the right path for a while. But Bubba Wallace was in the race Sunday. He got together with Clint Boyer, and then he rage quit, Adam. And maybe you can explain what rage quit is for some of the older demographic in the room. Now, I have a 13-year-old son whose bedroom is right next to mine, so I've heard a rage quitter too in my day. But maybe you want to explain it as somebody who actually probably has rage quit. Have you ever rage quit?
Yeah,
Yes,
I have.
you have. Yes, you have.
It's where not only do you take your ball and leave, but you express your frustration, and it's quite often very quick. Like, screw this, I'm out, or worse. And you take off. You exit a game in a big hurry. It's a big thing in the gaming world. There's articles about it. I Googled it this week because I thought, is that something new that they just came up with? No, it's been around for a while. So it's basically when you show the worst of sportsmanship just before. Like it used to be, you
It's the modern day
rage
flipping the
stayed.
table. No, it was the modern
But
day,
not
you flip over the Monopoly table when you're a kid and walk out of the room. I mean,
okay.
that's a
But so
rage quit.
what did John McEnroe used to do? He was a
I don't
rage
know.
performer. He'd have his rage and keep on going. Like that's
Yeah.
entertainment. If you want to lose your shit to express yourself, do it. Get ready for the next restart and let's see how you drive. I mean, that's the fun. So what he did was he took his ball and left, and the sponsors didn't like it. I think it was Blue Emu. I'm pretty sure is the one who said, we can't have someone representing us that's just going to up and quit.
Yeah, so
So it's
Bubba
up on.
Wallace tweeted out, Bahaha, I'm dying at my mentions right now on Twitter, basically. I ruined so many people's days by quitting a video game. Haha, a video game. Damn, quarantina's life is rough. And then Blue Emu tweets back, good to know. I'm assuming that's what GTK means. Where you stand. Bye-bye, Bubba. We're interested in drivers, not quitters. So, Adam, I throw it out to you. Who's wrong here? To me, it's the business side. You made a deal with this guy. They're in the heat of the moment. I think the business made the wrong call to make that call on Twitter. They rage jumped him. They rage quit on him. Now, do two wrongs make a right, or is rage quitting okay? Because they saw what he did and say, forget it, we're taking our ball and leaving too.
If I have sore joints this weekend and I have to go to a drugstore and pick up some ointment, I'm buying Blue Emu. Balls like this to come out. So that's the thing. A sponsor is as big a part of the game. And we're going to talk about this about our Friday night program this week, Clinton. A sponsor is a big part of the mix. And I say, good for them. They're the ones footing the bill. They should be able to play. And if you piss off a sponsor, they should be able to say, that's not how we roll. It cost Alex Tagliani a big deal a couple of years ago. That sponsor came back to him, but they parted ways for a year or two because that sponsor disagreed with how something was handled. Now, in that case, they didn't make it a public thing or not as public, but Blue Emu spends the money. Why should they not be able to say, hey, we're not backing you? You could have gone out there and finished 15th. And if you did it with a good attitude, they just said nothing. This was an opportunity for them to stand up, be able to promote their product, because I guarantee more people know what Blue Emu is today than they did Friday. Even if they don't know what the product is, they know Blue Emu because it's a big story. And that is the goal of sponsorship, is to make big stories.
Okay, so let's put it to you another way. There's another side to this, okay? So not only were they getting behind his iRacing setup, basically getting their name on the car for his iRacing performance on Fox, they also had to deal with his real race car team with Richard Petty Motorsports. Now, if you're the king, are you giving Bubba shit on Monday morning? How's that conversation going down, do you think, at Petty Motorsports when they're losing
Bubba's
real
lucky.
money out of their real program?
Bubba's lucky if he still has a job. If you hurt the employers, you pay a price. And I don't want him to lose his ride. Like I say, I like Bubba. But dollars and cents is what it's about. It's not just
I
about
think it's
driving in
interesting
circles.
because it shows how this virtual game is now, and I know you guys hate when I call it a game, this virtual simulation is blurring the lines into reality now. So that it's crazy that it's starting to affect real world things. And wow, I never thought it was the story we'd all be talking about Monday morning when it come to racing, was that someone lost their sponsor over their iRacing program.
Well, we've seen Clint Boyer on iRacing get frustrated. And he shows his frustration, then he makes a joke, then he carries on, as opposed to rage quitting and carrying on. We have a guest who's been on the line for a while. Spencer, our producer, is super excited because we're trying a new connection. But we are joined by Ryan Dyson, who works for APC Auto Parts Centers, and they are promoting a big event this Thursday night. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Good, good. Now, so the APC series wanted to. Ryan, can I share how this came about, or do we want to keep some of this a mystery?
I got no secrets.
Perfect. So APC wanted to put on races. Clinton, you and I heard about this, so we kind of reached out, said, "Hey, what can we do to help?" Because the APC series is the best thing going on asphalt here in Ontario. So it's an asphalt late model series, and I think the fans are going to love it because we connected Ryan and the APC series with our friends at 39 Productions, Stephen and Brad Ovens, who handle our Rivalz series from the production side. So Thursday night, the APC series will be live online. And fill us in, Ryan, on what they're going to be racing. I know you just ended a practice session. What can you tell us about how that went?
Things went really well. I think we had 36, maybe 37 cars take a time tonight. And there was still even a few more that weren't there. So the interest is definitely being way higher than we were even anticipating. So we opened it up to officials and anyone who's ever run an APC series event in the past or is a currently registered driver. And I think we got 42 guys as of now ready to rock on Thursday night. So many that we even had to add a last chance race. So unfortunately, not everyone's going to make the show, but definitely some big things coming. And in a time where there's not a whole lot to look forward to in the world, unfortunately, right now, we put together something pretty quick, and I'm hoping it's going to turn out to be a pretty dynamite event.
I love that Luke Ramsey got behind this, Clint. I'm just going to throw in one question. I want to know who was the top three in speeds, and then I'll throw it over to Clint.
Oh, just give me 10 seconds here and I'll look it up. I honestly don't remember. I know Mike Bentley was fastest, and then
Mike is always fast. I would bet
Mike
Dale
was
Shaw is up
fastest, and
there.
then I actually timed in second fastest. And I cannot remember, to be honest with you.
All right.
Third
once you
was
know
Dale
where
Shaw.
you are. Okay, right on. Clinton, take her away.
Ryan, is this a one-off deal, or have you guys looked past Thursday yet?
The eyes are on the prize of Thursday as of now. If everything goes well, and obviously if it's something we want to continue doing, I don't see why not. I'm not gonna make any promises online or anything right now, but if everything goes well and it's something that the drivers and officials and everyone wants to keep doing, I don't see why not.
Right on. Adam,
Yeah,
maybe
I
you and
think
Ryan
people
want to
are
fill
going
us
to.
in on where we're going to see this.
Yeah, as hard as I tried to get it on GeForce TV, Ryan, it's going to be on the APC Late Model Series Facebook page, I believe, is it not?
Yeah, so it'll be live on the APC Series Facebook page, the APC Series YouTube channel, and we got an announcement coming up tomorrow about an additional media outlet that's going to be covering it. So there's going to be lots of places to watch it, obviously free of charge everywhere. So there should be lots of eyes on it.
Nice. Fantastic. Well, we'll be sure to link that. So to keep an eye on our Rivalz Facebook page or our Schweeken Speedway Facebook page. We want to promote this, Clinton, because it's good for racing in our area. It's good for the race fans in our area. I had some comments. I've seen that Ryan Dyson is a bit of an iRacing star, and he should start at the tail Thursday night. Are you going to be in the field Thursday when the race rolls off?
As of now, yeah, the plan's to go ahead. Obviously, we want to get some officials in the mix and stuff, and Luke will be out there too. And I didn't see that comment, but you never know what'll happen. I focused mostly on single car runs the last few nights, so the speed charts might have been a little skewed tonight. I did a couple of long runs, but yeah, I might have been out there because I focused on single car runs just a little bit.
Ryan, we have a question from Dustin DeBoer. He asked, when was the real world season for the APC scheduled to start?
We were supposed to go May 16th at Sunset Speedway with the Daco 100. Everybody, of course, saw Sunset's announcement last week, and we're actively looking at everything we can do and working with the tracks and everything. And obviously, this is a bit of a situation that nobody wants to be in, but it's one that obviously the series will address as we keep going.
Well,
so far, just one race down, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, just one race right now, and I mean, obviously, that doesn't mean it's canceled, but we'll obviously see what's going on. That's a little bit above me to make those kind of decisions and know exactly what's going on, but we'll let Luke and the tracks and everyone talk it out and see exactly what's going on, and hopefully we're allowed to get on track soon.
All right, we'll be watching for you Thursday, Ryan. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being our test subject. We were connected via Discord tonight, which is a chat program we're going to need all our racers to get onto for Friday night. But Spencer, nice job. Always good to have people on video, but you know what, Clinton? The stories are told by mouth. So just having Ryan's audio there was fantastic. I'm excited that APC is doing this on sort of an official basis, putting on a good show and getting a great turnout. I think it'll keep us occupied. It'll keep us distracted during a time we really need it.
I mean, the list of sanctioning bodies and tracks doing racing events with the iRacing platform has gone off the rails. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you got to think the shareholders at iRacing brought this whole deal out because it's brought their product. Man, can you imagine it? Just imagine what their numbers were 2 months ago compared to where they're going to be a month from now. Because we still get, you and I, between the two of us, probably get 3 to 5 calls a day from people asking us, how do we get involved? How do I get a steering wheel? I've just got a steering wheel. How do I get involved? When I went by the race shop today, Aaron Turkey was on the sim turning laps with Kevin Lovey's overlooking the setup, trying to get their configuration set up for that deal. It's just crazy to see how many people have exploded into this iRacing thing. Let's give ourselves a little toot. GeForceTV.net has racing in the iRacing format many days of the week. They were out with the GeForce Racing League on Monday. The Rivalz Pro Elite Dirt Sprint Car Division is racing right now. We've also got tomorrow's Blacktop Rivals event going on. There you get a live look at the Rivalz Elite Pro there at Charlotte tonight. So where are we in there?
And it's championship night, Clinton.
Oh, wow.
There is money on the... Yeah, Alex Bergeron he's got the championship locked up. He's a world champion in iRacing. It was great to have him with us this season, but we had a number of drivers who showed that they could contend with the superstar from Quebec. We had some really good racing. So tonight is championship night. This is when it'll all be decided. We'll determine who's going to be the champion, who's going to take all the money spots in that league. And then, of course, tomorrow night, Blacktop Rivals has round 2 of their chase for the championship. We started with 16 drivers. There are now 12 drivers remaining who could win the title. And then after tomorrow night at Auto Club Speedway, it'll be down to 8 drivers vying for the championship next Wednesday from Phoenix Raceway.
How'd you do last week?
Oh, really? Really? I'll tell you what I did. I qualified for the next round of the chase despite stepping on my dink on a green-white checkered and taking out half the field.
Okay, so I've been watching the Blacktop Rivals racing. I find it really entertaining. I'm a dirt guy, but I like watching the Blacktop. It's great to watch. There's been some great storylines. The finishes are always crazy. And so I'm watching you, and you finally got your strategy down. You're coming down. You're starting outside pole, was it, or somewhere like that on the last restart? Pole. And I'm thinking, oh man, I don't know if he's going to win this, but he put it all together tonight, and then you looped it in front of the field.
Yeah, I was on older tires. No excuse. All night long, I knew the starts and restarts. You really had to be cautious, and I lost it. Thankfully, I didn't cause anyone to advance or not advance. No positions like that were affected, but. I'm still looking forward to a good run tomorrow night. I got a good car.
let's talk about the dirt racing you're seeing on the side of the screen here. That's our Rivals Pro Elite. That was our open division, the best of the best on dirt. And the world champion, Alex Bergeron, is racing out there, as Adam mentioned, ready to take the championship home tonight. This is a little bit of a look at what we're going to do Friday night with Greg Callan, yourself, myself, Doug Leonard is the race director, and try and bring you as much virtual racing as close to at our Schweeken experience with iRacing as we can without having the track scanned right now. So if this is something you like, and Spencer, just jump on this for a second. This is what we're going to be doing Friday night, but with racers, you guys know, and Adam, get the list ready if you can of our A-list drivers from our weekend. Spencer, go full screen here for a lap or two. So if you're watching us now, this is what you're going to see Friday night when we get these guys going. I don't know if we can hear them or not, but
look out, Kuhn got to grab the brakes there off of turn number 4. White flag is out, presented by 39 Productions. Can Dakota Kuhn hold on? We'll find out. Ernie Williams Jr. coming across the line to pick up the win. Cody Hartlob is second. Third is going to be David Flick, and Alan Downey will take that fourth.
All right, we can pull back off that, Spencer. So this Friday night, Greg Callan, Adam Ross, and myself will be calling a list of our Schweeken drivers. So we ask you to join us. Instead of our regular scheduled broadcast, we're going to do some live iRacing with some Schweeken flavor and our Schweeken drivers. We've asked drivers to go to the link. And Spencer, I'm throwing this at you. So maybe during this talk, if you come across it, I believe it's schweekenspeedway.ca/iRacing is the link that we have. We are giving out Friday. So go to the website. They can still sign up, right, Adam, if they want to get involved?
Well, we've got big news. We got big news tonight. So let me tell you, we're pumped up at our Ashweekan racers who have signed up. Now we're making a call out to non-Ashweekan racers. We still want you to be a part of the Ashweekan community, but fans, crew members, we want you to sign up, because not only are we going to have a race Friday night where you will know the drivers, they will be part of the Ashweekan family that you've known over the years that have turned laps at the Big O. We are also going to put on a show with people who are affiliated with Ashweekan Speedway, people the likes of Roger Craig, who runs some of our leagues for us, a super fan, big Dylan Westbrook fan, Greg Boydell, our turn 2 camera operator, Jeff Flaro, who's at the racetrack an awful lot, my son Connor Ross. The list goes on and on of people who want to take part in what you want to call, Clinton, the associates division. People who aren't drivers. Affiliate, one or the other. We need to come up with a catchy name, but let me tell you the drivers who have signed up. Tonight we had 2 practice races, and we're having practice races in the hosted sessions in iRacing. So go under hosted. You'll find these sessions at Volusia at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock every night this week. Tonight, Ryan Beagle won one of our practice races. Connor Ross won the other practice race. We had over 20 cars in each event. Here are the drivers who have officially signed up to compete as former Ashweekan regulars. Ashton Dickey out of the mini stock and bomber class, Alan Downey, Jesse Costa, Jason Thompson, Jim Hoopinen, Tyler Pachalski, Stephen Goldner, Clinton Nichols, Nick Sheridan, Ryan Beagle, Ryan Turner, Mac DeMann, Daniel McKay, Shane Pierce, Nick Mazzy, Travis Miller, Kevin Loveys, Chris Steele. Let's keep going down the list. Donnie Lampman, Aaron Rowitsky, Josh Hansen, DJ Christie, Paul Klager, Kevin Cokerich, Cody McPherson, Curtis Gartley, Ryan Turner, Dylan Westbrook, Sean Evans, Derek Moore, Darren Dryden. Holy moly, this list goes on forever. So there's 31 drivers already signed up to race Friday. They will be in one division racing 360 sprints, and then all sorts of others. All you have to do to get involved is go to schweekenspeedway.ca/iRacing. Some of the people that have expressed interest in the affiliate side, like I said, Dale Shaw has thrown his name in, Todd Seaburn, Larry Moody, Chad Cote, who races in our Rivalz division. So we've got a lot of racers coming out, Clinton. It is going to be great entertainment, and I think you'll be really impressed with how we sort of create a hybrid show Friday night, which is going to be a real Ashweekan feel with some of the iRacing that we've been working on. But I'm pumped up. That is an all-star cast, and the list is growing. I know Steve Lyons has been getting set up to run and turn some laps, but we got some real star power out there, and these drivers are having to eat some crow to come out here. Like, I'm going to make an example of Ryan Turner. He had a brand new setup. He was really struggling with speed in the early session, but Ryan Turner's a race car driver. He's going to get that figured out. And I have a feeling by Friday he's going to be one of our contenders. But these drivers are really having to pay their dues all over again, because for some of them, they have never done simulated racing, and you don't get any seat of the pants feel.
Well, we talked a lot about it. You know, it's similar, but it's still very different. And you've got a lot of these guys who put a lot of time in their real world race cars that they haven't got the time that some of these iRacers have spent their time turning laps. So it's definitely a catch up for a lot of our regulars. I'm with you in sending a shout out to all these guys who are willing to come on the broadcast, throw it all out there. And, you know, as Greg mentioned in our Friday tee up there last week, a lot of credit goes out to guys like Kyle Busch, who's, you know, wasn't that great week number one. He kind of got his butt kicked, but he's coming back. He's been racing lots, and he's ready to go every Sunday. And you know, prepared. Jimmy Johnson, same type of thing. One of the best racers out there, but tough. You know, struggling a little bit on his iRacing program, but still having fun and going at it. And I think this is a great way for our fans at Oshweekend to get a bit of the Oshweekend feel. To hear you and Greg call the races. I'll be throwing in some driver interviews. We'll have Doug Leonard on the one-way radios talking to the drivers as they come to the greens and throwing out finishes and stuff like that. So super excited to be there. If you're an Oshweekend fan, make sure you join us Friday night. So we're going to have a full program of our Oshweekend regular drivers. We'll show the feature of the associates. And then we've got some cool programs. Am I telling too much, Adam, or can I keep going?
Give it away, man.
And then what we're going to do is take the top 12 from each of those divisions and have a fun street stock race where everybody can get together and, you know, we'll race the associates against our regular drivers. So a bit of a pro-am deal there for you guys to check out with full coverage from our broadcast team. Steve and Brad Ovens are going to help us produce it like they're producing our Rivalz Elite Pro from Charlotte right now on the other channel. We'll be calling the races, and it's going to be super cool. So make sure you join us. We sent out some coloring sheets earlier yesterday. So if you see the coloring sheets, kids, color them and sign them and send them in. And we'll be doing some prizes for the junior fan club at an intermission. And just going to try and have some Oshweekend style fun.
You didn't send me any coloring sheets, Clinton. Did mine get lost in the mail?
You eat your crayons.
Good point.
So you're not allowed.
We're going to have fun Friday. Stay tuned, folks. And that's enough about that. We'll it's going to be a good time. What race is this on the track? There's a lot of cars out there.
Must be a B main. Let's talk about good deeds all around. Now, Adam, at the bottom of the rundown here, throwback, the original Big O. Did you put that in the rundown?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I don't know nothing about it, so I just know it was a spelling mistake. Okay, I'll stick to the script. Good deeds all around. This week we had two of our racers who did some awesome stuff, and I know there's many, many more out there pulling your weight in your community, but two that got sent across Facebook. We have our little futures file where we send stuff out. This week, first up, Jim Hanley, Niagara racer, race announcer at Maryville and Humberstone over the years. Good friend of Jack Hodenschild over the years too. But Jimmy is also a counselor in Thorold. He spearheaded getting delivery of a whole transport truck. I don't know, you got that clip at all, Spencer, the picture of Jim and his crew out there. They did a great job delivering a full tractor trailer full of food to their local community, to a couple of seniors' homes, which is super cool that Jim got together and had everybody take them out. Obviously, using best practices. And the other one was Greg Bellier from Brighton Speedway. And Greg here, him and his wife, they run Excessive Storage, and it's a self-storage place. And Greg said, you know, during this month of April, we know it's really tough. And anybody using our storage facility, we will waive your April's rent. But so nobody had to pay. But anybody who does pay their rent, we're going to double that and match it, and we will donate that money to a local food bank. So hands off to, I believe it's Sherry, Greg and Sherry, a great job giving away over $4,000 to local food bank. And that's super cool that they're going to do that, you know, in a time when money's tight for everybody. But for those guys to donate that, super cool to pass on those good deeds from two of our racing friends, Adam, in this past week.
Yeah, super cool. And there's so many good things being done right now. There's a lot of good deeds, and there's a lot of things to be positive about. But hats off, Jim Hanley and Greg Bellier and Mrs. Bellier, for your great work.
So we're getting down to it.
let's skip over questions and comments because obviously as they come in, we will always have them on the program. You don't know what the original Big O is?
Oh, okay. Yes, I do. It's all coming back to me.
Oswego Speedway. Now, John Carley from Canadian Vintage Modifieds scanned a whole bunch of the program, the weekly program from the 1971 Oswego Speedway Classic. Okay, Spencer, the first slide I want you to put up is the one that shows the purse for the race and the qualifying results, if you don't mind. So from 1971, I sent this in the chat. Hopefully you got that. As Spencer madly tries to figure out which one I mean. Okay, so let's have a good look at these cars, okay, Clinton?
Jesus.
If you look really close at Nolan Swift up on the top right, that is an open face helmet. He's not wearing any gloves, and you could drive a compact car through that roll cage without touching any bars. Right? As we look through the original Flintstone Flyer down on the bottom right, that's the Zero car of Todd Gibson. Spencer, do you have the next image that shows the race purse and the qualifying results? No, well, this one also gives a pretty good look. There we go. So it's really hard to see, but the winner's share of the purse is over $5,000. 50 years ago, Clint. It cost $15 to go to a movie today. 50 years ago, what did it cost? $2?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, that's how much
unreal.
things have changed. $5,000 to win in 1971. Now, it's hard to see the numbers. Jimmy Champagne set fast time in 1970 at Oswego. Norm Mackworth was second. His lap time was in the 18-second range. That is an average speed of 100 miles per hour. Average of 100 miles an hour. Spencer, go back to an image that show these roll cages. There are no racing seats in these cars. There are no head and neck restraints. These are open face helmets, no gloves, no racing seats. Hell, some of them used to cut the bottom, like a barrel, in half, and that's what they would sit in to drive these race cars. And boy, oh boy, these guys had some cojones on them. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Lap belts only.
Going almost the same speed as we go now. Like, they're only, I think they're turning 16 second laps now at Oswego. I mean, this track is the same size as Jukasa Motor Speedway, folks. 18-second laps. That is hauling the mail back in 1970 with very little safety in those cars. So we're pretty lucky to have a lot of those drivers with us today. Warren Conium, who was somewhere in the top 10 in time trials. I drove by him today on Highway 5. He was leaving Grisdale's and I was heading home, Clint.
I got watching all these old vintage stuff, and I was telling Spencer earlier today, and I was telling you too. I watched a 1957 Southern 500, I think it was, and they were pitted on the front straightaway with no wall between the front straightaway and the pit crew. So you just kind of pulled down on the apron, and your crew jumped out over the wall as they're whizzing by. We'll bring you that clip next week. It is unbelievable. But, oh, here it is. There they are. So there they are pitting, and watch when this car pulls away at him. It is unreal. There he is. No wall, no nothing. Gas can. They're probably got a smoke in their mouth too, going at it.
Oh, the official has a helmet. They're all right. That or he's going on an African safari when he leaves the track.
It's just crazy to think and watch. He pulls out and he pulls right in traffic. Like, no exiting. Just, I'm coming straight up into the lane there.
It's time.
Unreal.
Was that Smokey Unick?
I think it was. It looked a lot like him.
Not driving, but in the hat on the crew.
With the hat on.
Sure.
Thanks, Spencer, for getting that clip. And as we were talking about history, another one I was watching was it's not the title, but it's the Juan Manuel Fangio story on Netflix right now. If you guys aren't doing that, The Life of Speed or something it's called. I watch this stuff late at night, try and get to sleep. And his story, it was Jackie Stewart was talking about how they had Jackie Stewart at one point and his wife counted up 51 of their friends that they had hung out with or known over the years who passed away in a race car back in those days, and what a time it was, true daredevils. But the prize, $5,000, was a boatload of money back then for a car you built in your driveway that you could go out and win with, and just shows how the sport has changed quite a bit, where you're lucky to break even or not lose too much in a season. back then you could build a car in your driveway and make money, every week, get rich off of racing, which was unheard of. Adam, I don't want to take any more time. We should really turn it over to the Rivalz Elite Pro Series at Charlotte. This is their championship night. If you have not checked it out and you want to preview what you're going to see Friday, obviously you might not know a lot of these drivers, but there are some in there that you will know. Give it a chance, give it a watch, and get geared up for Friday night. Adam, thanks for being with us. Thanks for putting up with my attitude today. Send a shout out to my wife, too, for the same attitude problem we've been having, but it's all good. I love you guys both, and we'll keep rocking this. Check
Stay
it out,
safe,
though.
folks.
Rivalz Elite Pro coming up next. Here's Steve Ovens with the call. His brother Brad producing an amazing show. They'll be with us Friday to give us the same quality.
Race fans, one of my announcing mentors, good friend, and Land of Legends Raceway Wall of Famer, Gary Montgomery, would always start the A-Main this way when we get ready to go green. Race fans, it's time to sit down and hold on to your seats because these men, by the grace of God, iRacing and 800 horsepower, are ready to go to work. Championship night for the Rivalz Elite Pro Series is green. Oh, look at the sweet view of 360 dirt sprint cars racing into your living room, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Lap 1 is on the board. Your leader is Brennan Lacey. So Brennan Lacey having a career night here so far with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. And look at these guys, 3 and 4 wide off turn number 2. These guys have all sorts of room to work with here at the dirt track at Charlotte. And guys are trying to make moves early, trying to take advantage of the track while it's still got a little bit of moisture left in it. There's not much moisture to be had, but the getting is good right now, and now we've got a battle for the lead. Nygaard with a slider off turn 4, new race leader here on lap number 4. So Jason Nygaard takes the top spot. As we watch the action here off of turn number 4, he'll come down the line, and our first yellow flag of the night comes out on lap number 6. So yellow lights are on. Brad Ovens going to take a look here from the 3-9 Production Studios, see if he can find out what put us under this first yellow flag of the night. Racetrack getting pretty slick here. And I have a feeling that may have been the cause, as guys going to have to start really working that throttle pedal. And let's take a peek here as we watch him go down into turn number 3. Working off of the 4th turn, and I think down here into 1 and 2 is where we're going to see it. There's a little contact. There's some more contact, and Chris Steele goes around. And you saw Chris Steele. You saw how easy that car came around. That's a product of the track being as slippery as it is here in the A-Main. So Chris Steele going to restart in position number 23. Field rolling down the back straightaway here, getting ready to come back to the green. Strickland GM Chevrolet Silverado pulls off of the racing surface. Jason Nygaard will have the field at his control off of turn number 4. Nygaard will bring the 22 back to the green flag. Green lights are back on. We're back underway. Lap number 8 goes on the board. 27 to go. And look at them fan out. Here comes Ernie Williams Jr. in the 91. And the yellow lights are back on almost immediately. Caution lights are back on. So the double file restart giving guys some trouble here. And oh man, one car got upside down in a big way on the back straightaway. I think that might have been Trevor Grabeau. We're going to see it here. Oh, he had some help. Got a little bit of help from behind there. And let's watch it again here. Going to ride on board. And you're going to see it from behind there. There's Grabeau going around. And boy, it clocked up the outside of turn 2 in a hurry. As Rivalz Elite Pro Series race director Cody Olson dropping the hammer on these guys here. Single file will be the restart next time by. Got to get some green flag laps on the board here. Should be coming back to green next time by. Steve Ovens here in the booth with you, calling the action tonight from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. Bringing you live coverage here on GeForce TV. Be sure to log on to youtube.com/GeForce TV and subscribe to our channel. And be sure to ring the bell while you're there so you get push notifications to your mobile device to let you know when we've got live racing action, the Race Chat Race Rivals show, as well as new on-demand content. Green flag is back out, and we're back underway as the flagman waving the holy hell out of that green flag. That time by. Nygaard takes the top spot into turn number 3 as he's got it right up on the outside lane. I see a couple of guys trying to toy with that inside. Troy Wagaman's one of them. Wagaman down to the inside in car number 19, trying to get that pole off the corner, and he's doing a nice job. You're right on board with him. Here down to the bottom of 3 and 4, and look at and listen, not so much looking, but listening to that throttle control with Wagaman off of the corner that time as they are dicing it up for position number 5. Steinke takes over the spot away from Jack Clevenger. And now they've got Brandon Schultz, the 193, right there with them. That's a great battle for position. Kevin Hanley there with them as well, and Kevin Lovies. I'll tell you what, Dean Reynolds brought it up last night with the Renegades League. Kevin Lovey's been putting in some mileage. He raced the other night at the Eldora Speedway, packed up, loaded up, headed on out to Knoxville Raceway last night with the G-Force Racing League. Then they packed the bags, hit the road, and now they're at the dirt track at Charlotte here, covering all sorts of mileage here over the last 3 nights. Watching Ernie Williams here. Oh, look out. Got a little sideways in front of him. That's Brennan Lacey in the 97. And now Williams going to take advantage as he pulls the slider and the yellow lights come on just as he does. And I think Williams is going to have the spot there. We'll take a look and see what timing and scoring says here, as they do go to the last timing loop around the racetrack. We've definitely seen weirder things, but Williams with a power move going into turn number 3, pulling the slider. And we're gonna watch Cody Hartlove. Oh boy, got collected with another car here on the front straightaway. And that car got upside down big time. That was Jason Minat. So Minat kind of lost it. Hartlove nowhere to go. Hartlove, the Glenn Stiers Racing NRAM Dynamics, displaying his number 14 here tonight. And I would give Minat a 9.5. Couple of pirouettes, landed it on all fours. I mean, when you stick the landing, you can't give him less than a 9. So field working yellow here. Should get the 1 to go signal this time by. So coming down to the line, they're going to put lap number 22 up on the Strickland GM lap board. 13 to go here in this 35-lapper championship night here for the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. Stick around after the race. We'll talk to your top 3 finishers in victory lane. And who's it going to be? That's the question. Jason Nygaard trying to carry the banner for Team Alex Bergeron Racing that's going to take home the overall series championship tonight. Ernie Williams Jr. running in the 2 spot, and boy, would he love to pick up a win here on championship night. Brennan Lacey currently holding on to the 3 spot, and he has been having a banner night tonight for Radine Racing and Sim Racing Concepts. Nygaard continues to lead as they roll to turn number 1. That cushion on the outside of the racetrack is getting awfully rough. You can see, guys, as they go up to put that right rear Hoosier on the cushion, you can see Ernie Williams bouncing all over the place. And I'm telling you, folks, from experience, when you bounce that right rear tire off the cushion, it is so hard to control that car. I mean, it is like you are riding a bucking bronco trying to keep that thing in line. And right now, Ernie Williams Jr. is doing a great job. The unfortunate part for him is he's not gaining any ground on Jason Nygaard. Nygaard out to a 0.6 of a second lead. Coming down to the line to put lap number 27 on the board. 27 are in. 8 laps to go for Jason Nygaard. So Nygaard trying to bring home a win here on championship night to cap off, which was a dominant year for Team ABR here in the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. Over $10,000 in point fund money on the line here for this 20-race series. And Team ABR going to be taking home a good chunk of that. Brandon Schultz right here. We're going to watch Schultz off of turn number 4. Schultz running in position number 5. Started 7th here tonight and is hung right around that top 5. But now look at Troy Wagaman. We talked about Wagaman earlier trying to use that inside lane to his advantage. Brennan Lacey pounded the concrete off turn 4 that time. He gets the wall again in turn number 1, and I think Lacey might have some damage on that car as he is struggling right now with the 97. Schultz gets by for a spot. Steinke gets by for the top 5. Back up front, Jason Nygaard leading Ernie Williams and Troy Wagaman. 3 laps to go this time for Jason Nygaard. Nygaard dominating here as he took the lead early within the first handful of laps here tonight. And he is trying to roll right away with this one. 2 laps to go that time by. Credit to Ernie Williams. He's not given up on it all night long. He has been taken to the whip, trying to catch Nygaard, but I think he's going to run out of time. White flag is out, presented by 3-9 Productions. And it is for Jason Nygaard down the back straightaway in the next gen fab, CSI Shocks. Pit Logic app number 22, off of turn number 4. Jason Nygaard wins the race, and Team ABR will win the championship. Nygaard wins over Ernie Williams Jr., Troy Wagaman Jr., Brandon Schultz, Josh Steinke, your top 5. We will step aside here. We'll hear some words from our great partners at GeForce TV. We'll go side by side, and when we come back, we'll hear from your top 3 finishers in Victory Lane. Stay tuned. You're watching live coverage of the Rivalz Elite Pro Series from the dirt track at Charlotte.
Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washouican Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivalz Race Chat, Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, G-Force TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivalz and G-Force TV racing leagues. G-Force TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on G-Force TV.
Welcome back, race fans, to the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, coming to you live from Concord, North Carolina, here live on G-Force TV with 39 Productions. My name is Steve Ovens. We're going to talk to your top three here in Victory Lane from Championship Night with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series, and we're going to start it off with third place finisher Troy Wagman in the 19 machine. It's displayed on your screens as the 32 here tonight, but Troy, solid effort tonight, finishing third. At the end, you were one of the only guys testing out that bottom lane, and if you want to get by who's ahead of you, you got to go where they're not at the end.
Yeah, I was committed down there. Tightened her up. I wasn't planning on running top at all unless I had to, so it worked out. I was just hoping them guys got racing. Probably could have snuck by, but we'll take a third.
Was it lacking a little forward drive when the track got slick tonight?
I was pretty good, actually. I was actually a tick tight down there, but them guys could just carry so much more momentum off the exit of the corners. And the straightaways didn't seem to get as bumpy this time, so they could really carry.
Oh, absolutely, man. This has been a long season, 20 race stretch here for the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. What's it mean to you to take home a podium finish here to cap it off for this season?
That was good, man. It was a lot of tough competition all year long. It was definitely not easy. Some nights didn't even make it out of the C main, so.
I know that earlier this season, if I remember correctly, I believe it was Williams Grove, you picked up a win. So how do you look at the season overall?
It was a lot of ups and downs, and next year hopefully we get a lot more consistent and see where we end up.
All right, man. Hey, solid effort on the podium. Tell us about the folks that helped make it happen for you on the 19 machine.
I got a huge shout out to NRIM and Oshwegan for making it happen, and USRA and Flat Out Sim Series, and of course you guys for doing all this for us, broadcasting.
Great job this season, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, there's your third place finisher, Troy Wagman, and now we'll bring in second place finisher tonight, Ernie Williams Jr. And Ernie, you and I have had way too many of these second place conversations this year. But on the same token, if you look at this 20 race season overall, you were by far one of our most consistent drivers at the end of the night.
Takes a lot of time, man. I appreciate it. I mean, there's a lot of good drivers out here, man. It takes a lot of effort to come out here every Tuesday night. And, we got guys back at the shop, back at Black Diamond, help me out a bunch of stuff. A lot of people that don't get seen. I'm sure it's the same thing with you guys. A lot of people on the back page putting in a lot of work too. But yeah, we had a consistent year. I missed a few weeks. I was out the Chili Bowl and the shootout and a few other simulator deals that me and my friend of mine does. But other than that, we had 3 drop weeks. I'll take it. I'll probably finish top 4 or 5, somewhere around there. I mean, can't complain too much. I mean, we had Bergeron and Nygaard here. When you come in here, you knew they would be tough to beat. And Nygaard won tonight. I think that, I don't know how many times I win, but I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, I think me and him's got like 1 or 2 wins apiece. I need to get this because I'm a good buddy with him, and so I like to aggravate him a little bit. Let him say, hey, at least I won 3 times and you only won twice.
Absolutely, man. What was it that you needed at the end tonight? Was it just a race to see who got to the front first tonight?
Yeah, kind of, especially with about the last half of the race. I mean, the cushion was just brutal, man. I mean, my hands were sweating, my back of my neck sweating. That was one of the tougher races I was going to. I mean, the track was wide open. I could have ran the bottom. I could have tested it, but I'm a high side guy. I figured maybe the only chance I had, if he bobbled a little bit, I could maybe get around it. But even the times he bobbled, I was pushing just as hard as he was, so he wouldn't get away. I was trying to get a slider line going, and I just thought, man, you know what? I'm happy with second place. I'm going to run right here because Wagaman he was right there for the 3/4 of the race. So I was kind of trying to make sure he stayed behind me. I know he's right there with the points with me, so I was worried about him more than I was to be winning. To be honest, I wanted to make sure I beat him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you talk about that outside being a little bit rough tonight. I mean, that's one of the things that, I know every week we get new people that watch our coverage here that, are not on the iRacing platform yet. But that is one of the things on the dirt side that is just so awesome when they put in, that cushion that builds and it gets rough. I mean, explain to the fans just what that experience is like. I mean, because to me, it doesn't seem like it gets any more real than that.
It's almost like, only way I can explain it to somebody who's never done it, it's like going over a set of rumble strips about 5 car lengths long, and they're about 8 inches to a foot tall. And it's so hard, I mean, to get your car to run over them smooth. I mean, there's certain times if you run over them like 2 or 3 mile an hour faster than what you should, I mean, you're just in the car, whole car is shaking. I mean, you can barely see the track sometimes because the bumps throw you around so much. It's just a throttle control game up there. It's very, very precise. You know what I mean? Like you said, once it starts to build up, you got to know when the bumps are, because there's some portions of the corner you can run in real hard because it's smooth. It builds up a cushion that's not as bumpy. But then you get halfway into the corner, then there's a set of 3 or 4 bumps. So if you don't get off the gas, it'll just throw you off. So you almost got to be like, know exactly where they are, because they build up throughout the race, and they might be 3, then the next thing you know, they might be a car length down that just builds up, just throws you off a little bit. So you got to be on your A game on the cushion. The bottom don't change. It's bump wise. It's just finding dirt, good, solid, clean dirt. But the cushion, it just builds up and builds up, and it just, each time you go around, it's like there's a new bump, it seems like, man, because them last few laps, I felt like 1 and 2 was just, that's all it was just speed bumps from entry to exit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a hell of an explanation. And I'll tell you, man, over the course of the season, you've been by far one of my favorite interviews of the night. You always explain things so well, and I think that's so important for our new fans that are watching, or even fans that are fans of dirt track racing, but maybe not familiar with the iRacing stuff, man. Thank you so much this season. Tell us once again about your sponsors before we get you out of here tonight.
Absolutely. First off, I want to give thanks to the fans for coming out and watching, man. I know they come out and they watch for a couple hours a night, all the streams. Hopefully we had a good viewing. 3-9 Streaming, Turn 5 Media, GeForce TV, all you guys back there, Dirt Track Digest, everybody that puts this on, Rivalz Elite Series, and we appreciate 20 weeks, a long time. I think we started this back in October, man, and put, a lot of effort went into it, a lot of calculating, all kinds of stuff. And I wanted to say I appreciate all the fans and you guys for putting it on. Can't wait to go back and watch it. And big shout out to Tim Nichols with Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. He's the guy that helped me get in here. Him and Matt Henninger with Wicked Cushion Esports. Them guys that helped me get into some of them leagues. And, they're there for me anytime I need them. And it's nice having them people behind me. And Black Diamond Motorsports, the team back there, like I said, they give me them setups. They get me hooked up. And pretty much all I got to do is just make sure I don't hit the wall and stuff. And like I said, I can't wait to go back and watch it. And can't wait till next year, guys. Maybe we can get a few more wins.
All right, man. We'll look forward to it. Thanks again, and great job tonight.
Yep, thanks, man.
All right, there's Ernie Williams Jr. finishing in position number 2 tonight. And that's going to bring us up to our winner. Jason, man, when the boss man's not here, how much pressure does that put on you to carry the team flag and try to pull down a win like you did tonight?
A lot of pressure, but I can usually perform under the pressure, so you get used to it after a while.
I know that, these nights that you've come out here and either won or had a solid run, man, you can just see the excitement in the team when they post the finishes on your social media channels, and they're going to have a lot to be excited about here tonight. Tell us about your race. You got to the front early, and I said to Ernie here a minute ago, I felt like track position, whoever got to the front first tonight was going to be able to really control this race and really set the tempo.
Yeah, as slick as the track was by the time the feature started, it was track position, and I think it was Brendan Lacey he was leading, and I think he got in the wall, and that let me set up a slider to get around him for the lead, and made sure I just hit my marks and brought home the win.
Restarts were solid for you tonight. We did have a couple of yellow flags, but man, restarts, I mean, you had the whole package here tonight. Good handling car, a good handling car for the outside. How was the cushion for you as the race wore on? It looked like on Ernie's car, it looked like he was bouncing a little bit, but it looked like you were just rolling right over the top of it.
In any car here, the high side is very bumpy, so you have to you have to set it up just right to get through them so the car is stable enough to make it through corners.
All right, man. Let's see. Late in the race, we got a challenge there from, Ernie got within a couple car lengths. Troy Wagaman was trying the bottom side, but you were able to hold both of them off here to pick up the big win. Tell us about all the folks that helped make it happen there for the 22 machine.
I gotta thank Alex and everybody up over at Team ABR, CSI Shock, Pit Logic, they're in their Pit Logic app, Next Gen Fab, Wicked Cushion, and Dirt Armada. You guys broadcast, Cody Olson doing a heck of a job as an admin, and everybody else that helped put this on.
Great job here tonight. What a way to close off the season, and we'll look forward to hopefully seeing you next year.
I will be back.
All right. Very good. The rest of the field, take notice. Jason Nygaard making plans for 2021 here with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. And that is going to do it here for our coverage here from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Congratulations going out here tonight to Jason Nygaard, our feature winner here tonight of our 35-lap affair. And congratulations out to Alex Bergeron, nailing down the 2020 Rivalz Elite Pro Series championship after a 20-race season in which the drivers got to drop 3 weeks for their point series. And Bergeron, with all of the wins that he stacked up this year, going to be crowned our 2020 champion of the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. Well, folks, it has been an absolutely awesome season here with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. Some of the best racing, some of the best dirt iRacers that you're going to find in the country and in Canada. We've got it all here with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. Be sure to visit us online, rivalsracingleague.com, for all the information about all the different series that we operate. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Green Flag will be at 9 o'clock for the Rivalz Blacktop Series. The playoff round of 12 will be competed for 50 laps at the Auto Club Speedway in California. They've got 2 more Wednesday nights left. We come on just before 9 o'clock with the green flag of the race. Be sure to check that out on GeForce TV on YouTube. And once again, thank you again to Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, our race director, Cody Olson, our technical manager in the background, Spencer Mullen. And I want to give a huge shout out to our executive producer from 39 Productions, Brad Ovens. You talk about the crews and the drivers that put in a ton of time getting these race cars prepared and setups created and everything. Our setup guy is Brad Ovens behind the scenes that makes all these pictures look the way they do and makes everything sound so great. And he has put a ton of time in here this season to make it happen. On behalf of everybody here with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series, my name is Steve Ovens, the voice of the Rivalz Racing League, saying thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow night at the Auto Club Speedway for the Rivalz Blacktop Series. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.
Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivalz Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, G-Force TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivalz and G-Force TV racing leagues. G-Force TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on G-Force TV.